In 2010, something strange happened inside Iran. No missiles, no explosions, yet thousands of nuclear centrifuges started destroying themselves. The cause? A secret cyber weapon called Stuxnet. Experts believe it was created by intelligence connected to Israel and the United States. That moment marked the beginning of a hidden war between Iran and Israel, a war fought with cyber attacks, sabotage, and assassinations.
And today, that war is no longer hidden. Missiles are flying, drones are striking, and the entire world is watching. Could this conflict spiral into something far bigger, even World War III? Let's start from the beginning.
Most people assume Iran and Israel have always been enemies, but that's actually not true. In the 1960s and 1970s, Iran and Israel were quiet allies. At that time, Iran was ruled by the Shah, a pro-Western monarch. Israel and Iran cooperated on intelligence, military technology, and trade. Iran even supplied oil to Israel. But everything changed in 1979. That year, the Iranian Revolution overthrew the Shah. A new Islamic government, led by Ayatollah Khomeini, came to power, and the new leadership viewed Israel as an illegitimate state. Diplomatic relations ended, embassies closed, and the partnership between the two countries suddenly turned into hostility. But the conflict didn't immediately turn into open war. Instead, it evolved into something far more complex. For decades, Iran and Israel fought a shadow war. Iran did not attack Israel directly. Instead, it relied on proxies, armed groups across the Middle East. Hezbollah in Lebanon, Hamas in Gaza, militias in Syria and Iraq. These groups received weapons, funding, and training from Iran. Israel responded quietly with cyber attacks, mysterious explosions, and targeted assassinations of nuclear scientists. In 2020, one of Iran's top nuclear scientists was assassinated. Cars exploded, motorbikes delivered bombs. The operation shocked the world and marked one of the deadliest secret campaigns in modern Middle Eastern history. For years, these events remained hidden from most global news outlets, but tensions were steadily rising. By 2024, the shadow war began spilling into open conflict.
In October 2024, Iran launched around 200 ballistic missiles toward Israel, striking military bases and strategic targets. Israel's missile defense systems intercepted many, but the message was clear: Iran could hit Israel directly. Then, in June 2025, Israel retaliated with a massive air operation using over 200 fighter jets. The targets? Iranian military facilities and nuclear-related infrastructure. Several senior commanders of the Iranian Revolutionary Guard were reportedly killed. Iran responded with one of the largest drone and missile barrages in Middle Eastern history. Cities across the region went on high alert. For the first time in decades, the shadow war had turned into direct confrontation.
During the 12-day conflict in June 2025, over 1,190 people were killed in Iran, including both civilians and military personnel. Iranian missile attacks killed dozens in Israel and injured thousands more. Imagine sirens blaring in the middle of the night, families running to bomb shelters, children growing up in fear. For millions, this conflict is not politics, it is survival every single day.
Israel, a nation of roughly 9 million, has 170,000 active soldiers and hundreds of thousands in reserve. Its technological advantages are staggering: F-35 stealth fighter jets, Iron Dome missile defense, advanced cyber capabilities. Most analysts believe Israel possesses 80 to 90 nuclear weapons, although the country has never confirmed this. Iran, with 88 million people, fields 610,000 active troops, massive missile arsenals, and large drone fleets. Its nuclear program is growing, which Israel sees as a major threat. This combination of Israel's technology and Iran's numbers makes the conflict highly unpredictable.
The conflict is no longer just between Iran and Israel. Global powers are already being drawn in. United States, aircraft carriers deployed, military bases on high alert, intelligence support to Israel. Russia supports Iran militarily and geopolitically, but also maintains some communication with Israel due to Syrian interests. China, concerned about energy supply. Iran is a major oil partner. Lebanon, Hezbollah could open a second front against Israel. Syria, Iranian bases are already targets for Israeli airstrikes. Saudi Arabia and Gulf countries watching carefully, worried about Iranian regional influence and stability. Europe, concerned about oil prices, refugees, and economic disruption. Most countries are positioning cautiously, but the risk of escalation is very real.
In early 2026, Iran faced a shocking blow. The sitting president of Iran was killed in a suspected targeted attack, reportedly linked to escalating tensions with Israel. His last public appearances showed increasing pressure as missile tests, cyber sabotage, and covert strikes intensified. Intelligence reports suggest that the attack may have occurred near Tehran, possibly by an internal faction influenced by foreign intelligence operations. This assassination has thrown Iranian leadership into chaos, making decision-making during wartime even more unpredictable and leaving global powers uncertain about Iran's next moves.
Now, here's something many people don't realize. One of the most important locations in this entire conflict is a narrow waterway called the Strait of Hormuz. It may look small on a map, but nearly 20% of the world's oil supply passes through this tiny passage every single day. That means 1 out of every 5 barrels of oil used around the world travels through this single route. And right now, the situation there is extremely tense. The strait has not been officially closed, but because of missile threats, naval tensions, and fears of attacks on ships, many commercial vessels are already avoiding the area. Insurance costs for ships entering the region have skyrocketed. Some cargo ships are even waiting outside the Gulf instead of risking the journey. If this route were fully blocked, even for a few days, the impact could be global. Oil prices could surge overnight. Fuel prices could rise in dozens of countries. Transportation costs could increase, and eventually, even food prices could go up worldwide. But oil isn't the only concern. Another critical route lies in the Indian Ocean trade network, where ships carrying energy, electronics, and goods travel between the Middle East and Asia. Many of these routes pass close to Sri Lanka, one of the busiest maritime crossroads on the planet. If the conflict spreads into these sea routes, or if ships start getting targeted, global shipping could slow down dramatically. And that means the effects of this war would no longer stay in the Middle East. They would reach economies and everyday people all around the world.
Experts say there are 3 possible futures. Scenario 1, limited conflict. Missile attacks continue, but no full-scale invasion. Scenario 2, regional war. Lebanon, Syria, and Gulf countries could join. Scenario 3, global escalation. If the US, Russia, or China are directly involved, this could become one of the largest wars of the 21st century. Each scenario would have profound effects on millions of lives and the global economy.
War is rarely just about borders or politics.
Behind every headline, every missile launch, every breaking news alert, there are ordinary people. Families running to shelters in the middle of the night, parents trying to calm their children while sirens echo through their cities, communities waking up each morning not knowing what the next day will bring. For them, this isn't strategy or geopolitics, it's survival. The conflict between Iran and Israel is no longer just a hidden rivalry or a distant political dispute. It has become one of the most dangerous tensions in the world today. With powerful nations watching closely, military forces positioning across the region, and global economies already feeling the pressure, what happens next could reshape the balance of power in the Middle East, and possibly far beyond it. Because history has shown us something again and again. Some wars begin with a single event, a single decision, a single moment that changes everything. And years later, the world looks back and realizes that was the moment everything started to shift. Right now, the world is watching this conflict very closely, because the decisions made in the coming days or weeks could shape the future of an entire region and perhaps the future of our world.